Tell me your name and location as y'all come in. If you're watching this on replay, you can tell me your name and location in the comments section. And I will get to you when I get to those comments. As y'all coming in on Instagram, y'all know what it is. Tell me your name and location. Let me wait until a couple people come in. Instagram is alerting some of my followers that I am doing a live broadcast right now. So as they alert, I'm gonna give y'all a minute to come in. I'm gonna tell everybody, tell me your name and location as y'all come into the live. We are getting started in less than a minute. We got Nick from North Carolina. I think you got the first comment. So congratulations to Nick with the first comment in today's live. As y'all come in, tell me your name and location. We're gonna get started in less than 2 minutes. Babis Giannikos, what's good over there on Facebook? As y'all come in, tell me your name and location. We getting started in a minute. We got Ray from Playa del Rey. Guatam checking in from Cali. What's good? Alex checking in from San Diego. As y'all come in, tell me your name and location. Y'all see the topic. Y'all know what we're gonna be talking about here today. And if you want to work on projecting your voice, put the mask on and try to talk through the mask. So you got to talk a lot louder to make sure people can hear you. I'm not going to keep this on the whole stream. Don't worry. But as y'all come in, tell me your name and location, name and location, name and location. We're getting started in less than 60 seconds. We will get started. Whoever's here is here, because to be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late. And to be late is to be forgotten. So we got Athens, Greece over here on Facebook is in here. We got all over the world also in Instagram. So we are already international. Poppy R&B. What's good? As y'all come in, tell me your name and location. And I'm going to get into the presentation very soon. Somebody asked, can we talk live? Or you want to talk to me live? I usually charge money for that. I call it a consultation. If you're really asking, hit me in the DM. But anybody who's coming in here right now, understand, if y'all don't know, I do these live presentations every day. Every day I do these lives here, and I'm gonna give you some game that you could take with you in whatever you do. I don't care if you're a ball player, if you're a school teacher, if you don't even have a job, you're trying to figure out what to do. You're driving Uber, you're doing Uber Eats, you starting your own company, you got a startup going right now, you make apps for the smartphone, whatever you do, I'm gonna give you some game here every single day at 6:15 p.m. Eastern. It's gonna help you take your game to the next level. It's gonna help your mental game, and whatever's on the inside has to come out on the outside. So, for those who don't know me, my name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, former 9-year professional basketball player, now author of 25 books, creator of over 7,000 YouTube videos, 7,000 articles, over 1,500 audio masterclasses that some of y'all call a podcast. I'm a keynote speaker, coach, consultant, trainer, and teacher. I have done 4 TED Talks. As I already told you about these 26 books, I've done thousands of live streams. I've created more original content on the internet through written audio and video material than any human being that you can name on this planet since 2005. That's an absolute fact. Now, all of that is said to say this. I created this framework called Work on Your Game. This whole philosophy that is all about taking a pro athlete mindset and teaching you how to apply that mindset in your business, in your sport, and in your life. So this is one of my books. It's called Work on Your Game. It's absolutely about what I just said. Pro athlete mindset. How do you apply it to your business, your sport, and your life? You can learn about this book at another time. We ain't here to talk about that right now. But what we are going to talk about is part of this whole philosophy of work on your game, and that it takes more than hard work to be successful. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this, I actually gave this, what I'm about to give y'all today, and tomorrow I'm gonna give y'all 2 parts. So today and tomorrow, today is part 1, tomorrow I'm gonna give you part 2 of this whole framework that I'm explaining. Is when this book came out actually in 2019, I did a presentation at the largest independent bookstore in South Florida. It's called Books and Books. This is back when we could have gatherings of people last year. And the whole presentation was around, it takes more than hard work to be successful. Because I think a lot of people, when they hear they hear this thing, they hear me say, work on your game. And people see me, those of you who follow my story on Instagram and things like that, you see my work ethic and you see the way that every day I'm on schedule, I'm on point, and I'm doing what I got to do. People think that means work on your game just must mean, just work hard and grind and hustle and team no sleep and all of that all the time. And that's the key to being successful. Just work really hard. And that idea that a lot of people have is exacerbated by the fact that when people become highly successful, any individual, so whether that be a basketball player who makes it to the NBA or the Hall of Fame, a musician who wins a Grammy Award, anybody who is publicly noted for their success, whether that be a micro celebrity like on Instagram or a worldwide celebrity on TV, on billboards and doing movies, you ask them how they became successful. What's the number one answer you always get? People always say, well, the reason I'm so successful is because I work really hard. I'm the first person who shows up to work. I'm the last person who leaves. I just work harder than everybody else. I'm not better than everybody else. I'm not more talented than everybody else. The reason that I'm successful is because I just work harder than everybody else. And I'm going to let you know right now that that is a lie. When people tell you the reason they became successful is because they work harder than everybody else, that is not accurate. Now, I don't think those people are trying to deceive you. I don't think they're saying it because they want to steer you down the wrong path. The main reason highly successful people, you ask LeBron James, why are you so successful at basketball? He's probably going to say something along the lines of how hard he works, how much he invests in his body, and then people are going to co-sign it by telling all the stories they heard about LeBron James. And listen, I'm not saying that he's lying. Like, does LeBron James work hard? I don't know him, LeBron James. I never saw him train, but I'm going to assume that he does work hard. I'm going to assume that Kobe worked hard. I'm going to assume that Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro and Oprah Winfrey and Barack Obama, I'm going to assume all these people that we know of for being successful, we're going to assume that they do work hard. But the question that I'm going to answer here is, why do they all default to, when you ask them what makes them successful, why do they all say I'm successful because I work hard? Because that leaves us a little bit confused. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. The reason why they say this is because many people who are really good at doing things and however they got there, not all of them are capable of explaining why they do it and how they do it. See, it's levels to this. Y'all got to understand. See, being able to do something and being able to teach what you do are two different skills. So just because somebody is good at playing ball doesn't mean they can teach somebody else to play ball. Just because somebody's good at running a business doesn't mean they can teach somebody else how to run a business. These are two different skills. This is how you can have people who can teach something, but they never actually did it that well. They didn't do it on that high of a level themselves, but they could teach it to other people, and they're actually really good at it. If you look around in the NBA, for example, a lot of the best coaches are guys who were players, but they weren't that great of players. They might have been okay. Like Phil Jackson was a great coach as a player. He was like a role player. Steve Kerr, coaching Golden State Warriors. Now, of course, he got all that talent on the team, but he was a role player in the NBA. Greg Popovich, I don't even remember him playing. I think he played in college. Mike Krzyzewski at Duke, he played in college. He didn't even play pro basketball. Eric Spoelstra, Miami Heat, he played in college, then he played overseas for a couple years, and then he was working with the Miami Heat before he even turned 30. So these guys weren't all superstars at doing the thing, but they're really great at teaching the thing. And there are some people out there who did the thing, and they did it really well, and then they go try to teach it, and they're not always quite so great at it. Or anything other than doing it, they're not quite so great at it. I mean, Michael Jordan, they got the documentary about him coming up this Sunday. We have seen Michael Jordan has not been that great at choosing players. He was a great player himself, but he hasn't been so good in the front office as choosing players for his own teams, because doing the thing and any other capacity of the thing, teaching it or choosing other people and all of that and transferring your knowledge to other people, not everybody is as great at that as they are at actually executing. So this is why you'll find a lot of people who will tell you, well, the reason I'm so successful is because I worked hard, because they don't even understand the elements that made them successful. And here's the part that I was going to get to in a moment. It confuses us sometimes, because I think some people who are listening to me right now, you hear somebody who's successful at what you do. They're just at a higher level than you. And they say, well, the reason I'm so successful is because I work hard. I show up every day. I put in all this time. I do this, I do that. I hustle, I grind, X, Y, Z. And then you're listening to it. And then you might be thinking to yourself, well, man, I work hard too. I show up every day. I work hard. I do all the stuff. I get all the information, and I'm following the processes, and I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. I'm hustling, I'm grinding. I work hard too. So how is it that this person says that the reason they're successful because they work hard? Listen, it's only 24 hours in a day. It's only so hard you could possibly work. So how is it that if it's only 24 hours in a day, and then you might get some motivational speaker who doesn't really have anything of substance to give you, they'll say to you something like, well, look, Oprah Winfrey and LeBron James got the same 24 hours every day that you have. And it kind of makes you feel small, right? Like, what am I doing with my 24 that they're not doing? Or what are they doing that I'm not doing? And you're looking at yourself like, yo, I'm working 8, 10, 12 hours every day. I can't add time to the day. So how is it that hard work is the difference between me and Oprah and me and LeBron James? And it may have had you confused for a long time. Well, I got good news for you. All right, the good news is I'm going to solve that problem for you between today and tomorrow, because, and let me let the cat out the bag right up front, the difference between you and Oprah Winfrey, or you and LeBron James, or you and Drake is not hard work. All right, it's not that Drake just works harder than every rapper in the world. It's not that LeBron James is the hardest working basketball player in history. Look, the hardest working basketball player in the world is probably some dude playing at a D3 school, and he's like the 8th man off the bench, and you'll never hear of him because he's just not that good. All right, he works harder than LeBron James, but LeBron's just better than him. All right, that's why you know who LeBron is. There's somebody who works harder in the TV world than Oprah, but you never heard of them because they got a YouTube channel right now and they got 3,000 subscribers and they trying really hard to get more people to pay attention to them. And they work harder than Oprah. So hard work is not the key to success. And so I think that should be a breath of fresh air for many of you out there who keep getting told by all the motivators out there and whoever you listen to. I ain't gonna drop no names. I'm not gonna bash anybody, but whoever you listen to who might have been trying to motivate you and hype you up by just telling you how much they grind and how much they hustle and their Instagram posts and their YouTube videos have you believing that all they do is just grind, hustle 24 hours a day, and that's just the reason why they're better than you. Now, they might be better than you, but it's not because they work harder than you. And maybe they do work harder than you, but it's not the hard work gap that makes them better than you. All right, there's a whole lot of other things that go into success that is more important, or at least as important as hard work. So what I'm going to tell you here today and tomorrow, with all that preface, I'm going to give you 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. 8 things that combined with hard work are necessary for you to become successful. All right. So y'all heard me clearly there, right? I'm not saying that hard work does not matter. I'm saying that yes, you need to work hard, but unless you add your hard work with these 8 other elements, and I'm gonna give you 4 today and 4 tomorrow. Without combining your hard work with these, you will not get to where you want to go. Everybody clear on that? Now let's get to the first one. The number one element that you need, okay, to add to your hard work, and I'm giving these to you in order, at least today. Number one element you need besides hard work is you must choose wisely. You have to be very smart with your decisions. You got to be very good, sharp decision maker. What do I mean by this? Any of you, when you were growing up, you ever had your parents tell you, or your teachers, or somebody you looked up to tell you, yo, be careful who you associate with, because if you hang around the wrong people, you could be in the wrong place at the wrong time, or people going to start associating you with somebody who's doing the wrong thing. Or if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you could end up being looked at as in the wrong in a situation where you didn't even do anything wrong, but the thing you did wrong was you were around the wrong person. You were around somebody else who was doing something wrong. Has any of you ever done really well and worked really hard and been really dedicated to what you're doing, only to realize months later or years later that the thing that you were working hard at and being dedicated at was just the wrong thing? Has any of you put a whole lot of time and energy into a relationship only to realize 5 years later this was the wrong person to be in a relationship with? Has any of you ever realized at some point in your life that even though you were doing all the right things, you were doing all the right things in the wrong place at the wrong time and with the wrong person? Anybody ever done that? All right, I see what you're saying, Fredo Banks. Everybody, I think everyone here has made that mistake at some point in life. And I'm not pointing that out. It doesn't mean you should beat yourself up because you made that mistake, because we get knowledge and wisdom and experience through making mistakes. All right, you don't gain experience through everything working. If everything works for you, then you don't need experience. You got a magic touch. But I don't think any of us have a magic touch. So we got to go through experiences. We got to make mistakes. Making incorrect choices can derail all the hard work in the world that you could possibly do. To tell y'all, for those of y'all who don't know all of my story, I'm not going to tell all of it here. But before I started playing basketball, I used to play baseball. I played baseball as a kid till I was like 14 years old. And I sucked at baseball. I was not good. The best I ever would have became at baseball was like a mediocre baseball player. Maybe I would have played like D3 college, maybe. That's as good as I could have possibly been at baseball. That was my ceiling in baseball. But I played baseball all these years before I finally said, you know what? Baseball's not working out. Let me go over to the basketball court right over there, and let me see if I can do that. And I went over to the basketball court, and I never went back to the baseball field after that. And I'm telling you that to tell you this. Had I kept making the wrong decision and played baseball, I could have put the same work ethic that wrote this book, the same work ethic that made many of you, some of you who are watching this now, knew me 10 years ago when I was posting basketball videos every day. That same work ethic, had I applied that to baseball, you would not know who I am. This book would not exist, and I wouldn't be doing this live stream right now, because all that hard work would have been going into the wrong thing. It was the wrong choice. So you need to really ask yourself, with all my dedication, all my hard work, and all this stuff that I'm doing, am I directing it towards the right thing? Because if you work on the wrong thing, you can work as hard as you want, is not going to produce the outcome that you need. Like I've talked about before. Like if I put all this effort, I take my physical body and put it into being a sumo wrestler, I could be the hardest working sumo wrestler in the world, but I'll be trash because I'll be getting beaten every match because my body's not made for wrestling. Or if somebody who's 5'5" and Asian and 280 pounds tries to play basketball, they could be the hardest working basketball player in the world, but they ain't going nowhere. They ain't going to the league. They're not even playing in college. Probably won't even play in high school. Why? Because they chose incorrectly. They chose unwisely. So you got to make a really smart choice. And I'm giving y'all a quick analogy in this, and then we're going to move on to point number 2. Being success in life is like baking a cake. All right. So when you have a cake, everybody here has eaten cake before. You might not have baked one, but you've eaten one before, right? Having that cake come out of the oven is like you've finished your success. This is your success cake right here. In order to bake the cake, you need 2 things, right? You need all the ingredients in a pan or a baking dish, and you need an oven. You need an oven to heat it up, right? I don't think there's any other way to bake a cake besides heating it up in the oven. Hard work is the oven, okay? So you need the oven in order to create success. Everybody agrees with that, right? Without the oven, you can't bake a cake. But what if you got all the ingredients together and you realize you don't have any eggs? You need an egg. Almost every cake recipe I've ever seen, you need eggs. Now, what if you have no eggs? Can you bake a cake? You got an oven. You got everything else, but you have no eggs. Will you bake a cake? Probably not. And it ain't going to taste right if you do. All right, let's say you got all the ingredients. Let's say you got everything. You got the eggs. You got all the ingredients, but you don't have a recipe. You have no idea how much salt, how much butter, how much cake mix, how much eggs, how much vanilla extract, how long to cook it for, what to preheat the oven to. You don't know anything, but you got all the ingredients, and you got the oven, but you don't know what to do with it. Can you bake a cake? I mean, you could try, but it's probably not going to come out right. All right, this could be the person who you might know who has all these tools, but they don't know what to do with their tools, so they're all over the place and they never create success, even though they seem to have all the necessary ingredients, but they don't know what to do with it. See, that's success. To create success, you need the oven, which is hard work, and you need all of these elements that I'm giving you here is the recipe. I should have told you that up front. So I just gave you the first element of the recipe is you got to choose wisely. The question you need to ask yourself is this: what are your personal ingredients and what kind of cake can I bake with these ingredients? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Not everybody has the ingredients to bake a pro basketball player cake, even though a lot of people think they can make it. Many more people think they can make it than should be trying to make it. Not everybody has the ingredients to be an author. Not everybody has the ingredients to be a model. Not everybody has the ingredients to be I don't know, what else is there? Whatever you do. Not everybody has the ingredients to do the same thing that everybody else does. Not everybody has the ingredients to be an architect or to be a rapper or to be a singer or to be an interior designer. Not everybody has the same ingredients, yet so many people try to fit themselves into this narrow space just because that's all they see. So you got to look in the mirror. Instead of looking at LeBron James and Future and some YouTuber, you need to look in the mirror and ask yourself, what are my personal ingredients? What ingredients do I have? And what kind of cake can I bake with these ingredients? So some people, it might be a yellow cake. Some people might be pineapple upside down cake. Some people might be an apple pie. Some people might be a cheesecake. I know you don't bake a cheesecake, but you understand the analogy. Some people, it might not even be a cake. You might not like cake. You might want to just make some fruit. You might want to make some bread pudding, whatever it is. You got to figure out what the ingredients are that you have and where do they best fit in life. And I want you to understand that you don't figure this out just by sitting and thinking about it. You got to go out and live life and experience and learn. Find out what you're good at. Find out what you're not. See what you like. See what you don't. But you got to get out in the world and do this. You can't do this through scrolling through Instagram. Point number 2. And we're talking here about what you need more than hard work. I'm giving you 4 today and 4 tomorrow. Second one, you need luck. Now, this is one you will never hear a highly successful, publicly noted person ever credit luck for their success. The reason why people don't credit luck for their success is because if you ask me, Dre, what was it that allowed you to play pro ball when you barely played in high school, you had to walk on to college? How you play pro basketball for 9 years? How'd you do it? And I said, oh, well, I just got lucky. All right, now you don't want to hear nothing else I said. Because you're like, oh, well, you just got lucky. You can't teach me anything. You can't teach luck. Well, I want you to understand something. I did work hard. I did have some strategies. I did learn some things, and I can teach some things. That's why I wrote this book right here about playing ball overseas. We'll get to this later. But did luck play a role? Yes. Luck played a role in my story becoming my story. And I'll tell you this. My father is 5 feet 9 inches tall. Yeah, 5'9". My mother is 5 feet 7 inches tall. My sister is like my mom's height. She's like 5 feet 7 inches tall, and I have no brothers. So it's those 3 and me. I'm 6 feet 4 inches tall. Now, I can't credit my height I can't credit hard luck for my height. I can't say that it's because I was disciplined. I can't say it's because I was drinking milk. Remember they used to have the commercials about drinking milk back in the day? It wasn't because I was drinking milk. It wasn't because I exercised. It wasn't because I did some special secret drill that makes you grow taller. It was luck. I didn't do anything to make myself grow taller. That's just, the height was bestowed upon me. And with that height, combined with my hard work, y'all following what I'm saying here, I was able to turn that into a basketball player cake. Y'all following what I'm saying? Y'all hope I'm not going over anybody's head with all these analogies that I'm giving. Yes, genetics, exactly. The genetics was bestowed upon me. I didn't do anything to work for that. LeBron James is 6'8", and he could jump really high, and he's whatever weight he is, and he's strong, and I'm sure he works hard. I'm sure he works on his shot and his dribble and studying the game, and he spends $1 million a year on his body. I know. But had LeBron James been 5'8" instead of 6'8", okay, he might have become Nate Robinson, maybe. Or you might not have never heard of him. All that, without the luck of the genetics, and none of the rest of the stuff would have happened. Michael Jordan is 6 feet, 6'6"? And again, the Bulls documentary comes out this week. And people always said, if you're reading the books about Michael Jordan's life, that his brother named Larry Jordan was actually just as good of an athlete as Michael Jordan. He could jump high, he was strong, he was a little bit older than Michael. Jump high, he was strong, he was this all-around athlete. The only difference between Larry Jordan and Michael Jordan is even though Michael is 6'6", Larry Jordan's like 5'9". And that's why you never heard of Larry Jordan. But you heard of Michael Jordan. And Larry Jordan joked with Michael Jordan. He said, Mike, if you hadn't had that growth spurt, you'd be working at Pep Boys. And the whole point is this. Sometimes in life, lucky breaks occur and they happen for you. And if you happen to take advantage of them, that can lead to you reaching even higher and higher levels of success. But here's the caveat. You got to be wise enough and observant enough to notice where you got lucky and then do something with that luck. Because just because you get lucky doesn't mean you're going to turn it into success. Because LeBron James is not the only 6'8" guy who's athletic who's walking this planet. And there's a bunch of 6'8" athletic dudes walking this planet who ain't never achieved nothing in basketball. And that's not because they were supposed to. It's because maybe they didn't recognize it, they didn't see it the same way, and they didn't take the same actions that LeBron James took. There are other people who come from families where everybody's under 6 feet. They're over 6 feet, but they decide not to be basketball players. Doesn't mean that they're wrong. But again, that's what happened to me. I was able to take advantage of that opportunity and do something with it. So you got to look at yourself and ask yourself, where am I lucky? Where am I getting lucky? Where do I have some advantage that I didn't work for, that I didn't ask for, that I didn't plan for, but is available to me? I could do something with it, and I could turn it into success. Those of y'all, again, don't know all my story, you can read about it in my first book, Buy a Game. You can get it for free on my website. But when I was in college, my freshman year, I walked on to this school called Penn State Abington. And after that first year, I used to come up to the gym every day. This is a commuter campus, meaning there's no dorms. So I would come up to the gym every day and work on my game in the summer. And nobody was on campus. Like, nobody came in the gym to work out. None of my teammates came in. I never seen nobody. I'd be in there by myself every day working on my game. And one day I forgot to get breakfast. So I walked across the campus to go to the cafeteria. And Penn State Abington is a small-ass campus. It's like 4 buildings. So it's the gym, the cafeteria, and 2 buildings where the classrooms are at. I'll go to the cafeteria to get something to eat. I'm walking out the cafeteria. Mind you, it's summertime, so the campus is dead. Some dude walks up to me. He's like, yo, man, what position you play? And I'm like, I'm looking at the dude because I know I don't know him. This is a small campus, so I know everybody. And I'm looking at this dude. I know I don't know this dude. I'm like, what you mean? What position I play? How you know I even play? Because mind you, we're in the cafeteria, not the gym. He's like, man, I'm just asking. And I told him, man, I'm a guard. And he starts talking. And he hands me his business card. And he started asking me what my major is and all this stuff. Like, he sounded like a teacher, the way he was asking me questions. And he started talking about majors and all this. He hands me his business card. And this dude is a recruiter from a different campus. Like, he recruits students to come to a different Penn State campus. But he had 2 jobs. His other job, he was the basketball coach. This random dude, I met this dude randomly. And he ended up recruiting me to come to Penn State Altoona. That's where I graduated from. He recruited me to come to his school, which was a step up from the school that I was at, in the middle of the summer after my freshman year of college, by sheer luck that I happened to go into the cafeteria one day all summer. Every day that summer, I would drive up to the gym, because the parking lot right next to the gym. I'd drive up to the gym, walk in the gym, work out, leave the gym, get in my car, and drive home. It's the only day that I didn't do that. I walked across campus to the cafeteria. That one day, this dude just happened to be in there. He happened to see me. He said, and like years later, I asked him, how'd you know who I was that day? He said, I didn't know who you were. He said, you just look like the type of player that I needed on my team. That's why I stopped you and talked to you. I found out who you were after we talked. That's luck. I didn't plan that. I didn't know he was going to be there. I wasn't looking to get recruited. I was thinking I was coming back to Abington. I got lucky that day. And that luck led to a whole lot of things that happened next. Because a lot of my closest friends that I have to this day were people that I met at that school that I got recruited to. And people that knew stuff about playing ball overseas, and all these things that happened after that as part of my story happened at that other place because I was lucky and that just some happenstance event happened. But I want y'all to understand something. Had I not been showing up every day to that gym to work on my game, I wouldn't have even had a reason to go to the CAF, and I wouldn't have met that guy. So the hard work was part of it, but I also got lucky. You see how those two combine, and that was able to create part of the story. So what I want you to look at yourself and ask yourself is where am I lucky? Where do I have some circumstance that other people don't have? And how prepared am I to take advantage of luck? Because see, luck could happen to you every single day, right? Some people say, well, you create your own luck, right? Well, you create your luck when you're prepared. You know, luck is when preparation meets opportunity, right? So opportunity is happening all the time. The question is, are you prepared for it? Because if you're not prepared for an opportunity, then you don't see it as an opportunity. You only see an opportunity when you're prepared to take advantage of it. If you don't know it is an opportunity, then you just see it as just some random thing happening and you don't pay attention at all. You understand? Point number 3. What's number 3 element you need to combine with your hard work to make a cake of success in life? You need timing. Third element is timing. When I was in college, I went to this college that I got recruited to. The coach that recruited me, here's some bad luck. After 1 year playing for this coach, he gets fired. He gets replaced. A new coach comes in. So now my luck has run out. All right, so I got lucky to get to the school, but now a new coach comes in and he wants to clean house. He wants to get rid of all the old players. I was one of the old players. So now I went from having good luck to having bad luck. Now I was the victim of bad timing. So this new coach comes in and it's not looking like things are going to go too well for me. But I'm going to tell you about a little bit more about that in the 4th point. Let me tell you more about it on this 3rd point. When I got out of college, I went to an exposure camp, got the footage from that exposure camp. So I had this video, this VHS tape of myself playing ball, right? And I'm like, man, what am I going to do with this footage? I start sending it to agents, got myself an agent, start playing ball overseas, but I wanted somewhere to keep this video. So I decided to get this video put on a data disc, a CD, and I put that CD in my computer and I put it on this brand new website, 2005. It's called youtube.com. 2005, just came out. The only reason I put the video on YouTube, I wasn't trying to build a brand or get subscribers or get followers or become an influencer. We weren't even using those words back then. The only reason I put the video on YouTube is because I had a VHS tape and I knew I might lose the tape or if it got wet or it got messed up. I just wanted to have that footage of me at that exposure camp somewhere that it couldn't get messed up. All right, the internet's going to be here. That's what my guess, that the internet would be around. So I put the video on YouTube. Now, some people saw it, left comments, said, yo, who you play for? Who taught you how to play? How often do you work out? Can you make a video about dribbling? Can you make one about dunking? Can you make one about shooting? Can you answer my question? Can you help me make the basketball team? All these people start asking me questions. They didn't know me, and I didn't know them. But I'm like, damn, obviously there's a lot of players out here who want to learn how to play ball. So I started making more videos, and I made more, and the rest became history. Some of y'all know a little bit about that history. But the point is this, when it came to YouTube, I'm not telling you that to impress you, but to impress this upon you. I would venture to say there's some basketball players out there who, since then, who are better than me, more talented than me, maybe played longer than me, had a more decorated career than me. I was not the best basketball player to ever come through the world of basketball, right? Now, putting video on the internet, though, they weren't all doing it. But there are other people who put video on the internet. They're better editors than me. Their footage look better than mine, right? They know how to edit it and make it look pretty. And they're using what's the video thing? Final Cut. And what's the other one? I don't even know. I don't even know the names of these programs because I didn't use none of that. When I made my videos, any of y'all who used to watch me back in those days, what was it? I'll record that thing and I'll put it right up on YouTube. It was hardly any editing. I'll just cut out. I'll make a couple cuts, slap it together. DreAllDay.com. Put that thing on YouTube. That was it. That's all I did. I didn't do any editing. I wasn't trying to be an editor. I'm not a video editor, and I'm still not to this day. So I was not very good at video editing. I was not the best basketball player in the world. So how was it that I created this whole new genre that now is how many people put basketball videos on the internet and even got a business out of it? 1 million? 1,000? A lot. How did I create that? Even though I'm not that great at editing, I'm an amateur editor, and I'm not the best basketball player in the world. How did I do it? Timing. It's because I was the first one doing it. Not because I was the best at it. It's because I was the first one. That's what separated me from everybody else out there. Let's say I had come out right now. Let's say I just got out of college this year. And I say I'm going to make videos and put them on YouTube. With those same editing skills from back then, now, I don't think I'm even going to get noted. I don't think anybody would even know who the hell I was. That's part luck and it's part timing. But I took advantage of the timing, right? Had I come out of college just 5 years later, all the stuff that I did when I had mattered, because somebody would have did it before me, I wouldn't have been the pioneer of it, and nobody would know me because they would have already flooded the market. What need would there be for me? This is timing. And I can come out and say this now because it all worked out in my favor, but y'all understand what I'm saying, right? You got to ask yourself, understanding that timing is more art than science, you got to ask yourself, like, where do I see some change happening? Where do I see an opportunity coming in the future? And this is, again, it's more art than science. All right, timing is not like you can plan it out, all right, and you can calculate, and it's like this day, if you do this and this and you say this, everything's going to work out. That's not the way timing works. Because if it worked that way, then somebody would have made a science out of it and wrote a book about it, and they sell it to you for $1 million. You gotta kind of get a feel. You got to get a feel for what's going on. This is instincts. When basketball players ask me, Dre, how do I do this move in a game? It's instincts. When you see Kyrie Irving do a move in a game, it's not because he planned it out. Like, all right, if the defender does this and he goes over here, then I'm going to do this move and I'm across. You can't do that. You don't have time to think like that. In life, you got to learn how to use your instincts. And a lot of people fall out of touch with their instincts because you're thinking too much, you're listening to too many voices, you're reading too many books, and all of a sudden your mind is flooded with what everybody else said. You forget about what you said. You're in touch with your instincts when you know what you say, not what everybody else says. So yes, listen to people and read and learn and download podcasts, but at the same time, you got to know when to turn all that stuff off and listen to yourself. That's how you get in touch with your instincts, and that's how you learn timing. Everybody heard of 2 Chainz, right? The rapper 2 Chainz. The 2 Chainz on his first mixtape, that True Religion mixtape, he said on there, he said, the way that I got to where I'm at, he said, is the right grinding. Not grinding, grinding. He said, grinding is when you mix grinding and timing together. And that's what I mean when I say things that are just as important, if not more important than hard work, timing. You got to mix your hard work, the grinding, with the timing. And when you get that right, you get magic. 4th point. This is the last one I'm going to give y'all for today. Again, this is part 1 of 2. You need more than hard work to be successful. And I'm going to take questions after this. 4th one. Now let me tell you more of that story. So I go to college, get recruited after my freshman year, right? I get lucky, run into this dude in the cafeteria. He recruits me to school. I got recruited out of the cafeteria. Go to this new school, play for this dude for 1 year. That was my sophomore year. End of my sophomore year, our coach, the guy who recruited me, he calls a meeting. And he says, they about to replace me. That's basically what he told us. He told the whole basketball team they about to replace me. This is before the public knew about it. He told us. And we all like, well, why are they going to replace you? He was like, well, he talked about what they're doing, but the bottom line was he was having some issues with the athletic director and the staff and all that. They didn't really like the coach. They wanted to get rid of him on a personal level, not basketball, but they had some personal issues. So he lost his job because of some politics. All right. And this is one way politics can work against you. So he knew he was getting fired. New coach comes in, right? New coach comes in. He wants to clean out all the old people. I'm one of the old people. So everybody ends up off the basketball team. Halfway through my junior year, everybody from the previous team is off the team. So the last half of my junior year and all of my senior year, I was in college, perfectly healthy, perfectly eligible and all that. And I didn't play not 1 minute on the basketball team. My last year and a half of college, I was not on the basketball team. Now the question is, how then, Dre, did you go from that to 2005? I got kicked off the team early 2003. 2005, year after graduating from college, I was playing ball overseas. Led to a career that led to me writing this book, the only guidebook out there that tells you how to play ball overseas. How did I do that? How was I able to make that happen? Is it because I'm just this super duper hard worker? Well, I am a hard worker, but a lot of people work hard, so I can't say that's the reason. Is it because I got lucky? No, I wouldn't call it luck. I mean, it was actually bad luck that got me kicked off the team. I'd rather have been on the team than off the team. Was it timing? Not really, because every year somebody's trying to play ball and get on, and every year there are opportunities. So I can't say it was timing. You know what it was? It was vision. This is the 4th principle. You need vision. Vision is different from sight. All right. Sight is when you look through your eyes and you see something and you say, all right, there's a TV over there and Dre's on here and he got this black scarf and his hat says work on your game. That's sight. That's things that you can see with your eyes mechanically. All right. Logically. Vision is seeing something that doesn't yet exist. seeing it fully in your mind before it exists, and then believing in it enough to take actions to go make it happen, even though there's nothing in your present situation that says that thing will ever take place. That's what vision means. Knowing that something's going to occur before it has occurred, and even without any proof that it will ever happen. That's vision. And vision is hard. I want y'all to understand that vision is easy when you're looking backwards. All right, it's easy for me to tell y'all all this, tell you all my guts and glory now that I already achieved it and I did it and it sounds good, right? But it wasn't so easy to talk about doing all this in 2004 when I was graduated from school, from a D3 school where I didn't play my last year and a half. There were no books. There was no YouTube channel. There was no business. There was no basketball career. There was no brand. There was no audience. There was nothing. It was a lot harder to talk about vision back then than it is to talk about it now. It's easy to talk about it now because I could just look back and say, yo, I did this. It sounds good now, right? But it wasn't so hard back then. So easy back then. And back then, like right now, I could tell y'all about it and y'all could be like, yep, that's right. I read your book. It was great. I saw your videos. They were cool. I listened to your live stream. I like what you're talking about. It is all cool now. We could talk about it now. But let me tell you something. In 2004, when I graduated from college and I was telling people I'm going to go play basketball for a living, I'm going to write books, I'm going to build a brand on the internet. All right, nobody was trying to hear that. Nobody was co-signing it then. People co-sign it now because it's proven. Nobody was co-signing it back then. Why? Because there was nothing that said that was actually going to happen. Again, I'm coming out of a D3. I didn't even play my last year and a half. I'm talking about I'm going to play basketball for a living. Okay. I'm going to write books. Okay. I'm going to have a website like named after me. This is before all this stuff was happening. All right. That made no sense. All right. Blogging was barely a thing in 2004. That was barely a thing. There was no Facebook, no Instagram, no Twitter, no YouTube. None of those existed back then. So all of this, nobody saw this. Nobody knew it was going to be just like this. Maybe Steve Jobs, and that's pretty much it. Nobody else. So how many of you can believe so much in the vision that you're going to create, not after you do it, not once you start getting some traction, but before anything has popped off? Can you believe it? That's what vision is about. Seeing it before it happens. And when I was playing ball, a lot of people don't know this, but a book that I got coming out soon, I'll be talking about this, that's related to overseas basketball. Y'all hear about it soon. When I was playing ball, my career didn't go, it wasn't like this straight line where everything was going perfect. I went to a bunch of exposure camps, a bunch of tryouts, workouts with teams, hit up a bunch of agents. I invested out of my own pocket. This is no joke. I invested over $10,000 of my own money just in the marketing and promotion of myself, just to keep my career going. And that means going to events, going to tryouts. That's between the hotels, the flights, the food, the camp fees, all that, just to keep my career going. And while I was doing that, I started building the business on the side. All of that was happening all at the same time because I had a vision that it was going to work. And now that I've done all those things, now I can look back and I can say, all right, because I've done these things, how can I give some value to somebody who's coming up next? How can I help the people who are in the spot that now that I was in 10 years ago or 5 years ago or 20 years ago? And now I can look back on it and I can codify it and I can give it to y'all or whoever needs it. But that you got to have that vision up front to create it before anybody else sees it. Because when you got that vision that you're going to do something, nobody else is going to co-sign a vision that it ain't no proof. Okay? If you got anybody else co-signing that you can make it, unless it's your wife or your mom or your grandma or your best friend, ain't nobody else co-signing. The only reason they co-signing is because they love you. All right, that's not because they believe it, but because they love you. Right? They just want you to feel good. All right, so your best friend, your mom, your grandma, your wife or your girlfriend, they'll tell you they believe you're going to make it. But when you ain't around, they like, I hope you get a job. All right, because I don't know about that one. Y'all understand what I'm saying here? That's vision. But you gotta believe it so strongly in your own mind, even when nobody else sees it, you still stick to it. And on top of that, you got to put some action behind it. It's one thing to talk about, it's another thing to do it. So here's the question. What's the difference between vision and delusion? And I talked about this in a stream I did probably like 3 weeks ago. So if you missed that one, it'll be on YouTube soon. Just look me up on YouTube. But people ask, well, Dre, how do you know then? So let's say you're at a point where you got this thing you want to do, right? And you got a vision in your mind that you're going to be this and that, and it's going to be so great and spectacular, but you don't have anything in your current life that says you're going to do it. There's no proof that this is going to happen. How do you know if you're being a visionary and you should stick to it and try it and make it happen, or if you're a delusional fool and this is never going to happen and you just got a pipe dream in your head that's never going to come to fruition. How do you know the difference between the two? What's the difference between being a visionary and being a delusional idiot who is just got a pipe dream that's never going to happen? How do you know the difference? Y'all want to know the answer to that? I'm going to tell you the answer. All right, and this answer is guaranteed to be right every single time. All right, y'all ready for this? Here's the answer. It depends on the end of the story. That's how you know. You want to know whether you are a visionary who saw it before it happened, or you're a delusional dummy who should have never put any time into it in the first place. The only way you will know the difference is what happens at the end of the story. In other words, because like I said, I came out of school, nobody knew me, no resume, no prospects, no nothing. I didn't have any plan B for my career besides playing ball. Like if playing ball did not work out, I don't know what I might have been working at, Home Depot, and no disrespect to nobody who works at Home Depot, but I'd have been working at Home Depot, like in the plant section, helping you put a cactus in your trunk after you bought it if basketball didn't work out. That might have been what I ended up doing. Maybe not, but y'all get what I'm saying here. Because it worked out, and because I could write a book about it, and because I could write books about playing ball overseas, and because I went and got on YouTube and did all these things that I did up to this day, I could look back and say, hey, I was a visionary. I could tell y'all all these stories about all these things that I saw and what I was going through and how it was so bad and how it didn't look like anything was going to work out. But then it all worked out. I looked like this visionary. I just saw everything. Like, wow, he saw it before it happened and he did it. And it's true. But let's say it didn't happen. What if I didn't make it playing ball overseas? What if I started blogging and I blogged for like 3 weeks and I didn't have a lot of views, and I didn't when I started blogging in 2005, and I didn't really have any fans, and I said, what, ain't nobody reading my blog. Forget it, I ain't blogging no more, like most people do. What if my first 2 YouTube videos, I said, well, I ain't getting no views, so I ain't posting no more videos, like most people do, and I never post another YouTube video? What if I wrote a book and I said, well, this book doesn't seem that good. I read my own book and said, this book doesn't seem that good. I don't think anybody's going to like it. So you know what? I'm not even going to put the book out. And I shelved it and I never put it out like most people do. What if I would have did those things? Would I be a visionary, or would I have been a delusional fool who wasted their time making 2 YouTube videos, 3 weeks of blogs, and writing a book that nobody ever read? But because I kept going, I kept blogging, I kept reaching out to agents, I kept going to exposure camps, I kept investing in myself, I kept posting YouTube videos because I put my book out and said, I don't care how good or bad this book is. My first book, Buy a Game, when I put that thing out in 2010, I didn't even edit the book. Like I wrote it and then I put it on a computer and I put a cover on that thing and I just put it out. I didn't even edit. I didn't even proofread the book. That's honest to God truth. I didn't even proofread that book. And when I did the audio book for Buy a Game, my first book, and I read through it, I was like, man, this thing needs so much editing, and I went through it, edited it now. So if you look at it now, the book is edited. But when I first put it out, there were no edits at all to that book. I just wrote it straight through, didn't even proofread, and I just put it out. Most people write it, edit it, think about it, let 10 people look at it, ask 20 people their opinions, and then they do nothing. And it takes them 3 years to do it, and then nothing happens. Me, I wrote that book. As soon as it was done, it came out the next day. That's a fact. I'm not telling you that to impress you, but to impress upon you. There's nothing stopping you from doing the same thing. Now, let me recap these 4 points, then I'm going to take questions, whoever got one. Anybody who had a question on anything I talked about today, I'm going to take it. And for those of y'all who came in the middle of this, the subject, y'all see the subject in the description here. You need more than hard work. This is part 1 of 2. So I gave y'all the first 4 today. I'm going to give you 4 more tomorrow. Same time, same place. But these 4 principles today, that it takes more than hard work to be successful, that you got to add these to hard work. These don't replace hard work. They combine with hard work. Number 1, you got to choose wisely. Key to choosing wisely, ask yourself, what are your personal ingredients and what kind of cake can you bake with those ingredients? Number 2, luck. Luck happens when preparation meets opportunity. So you got to be prepared with skill, working on your game, because opportunity is everywhere all the time. Number 3, timing. Timing is more an art than a science. You got to get in touch with your instincts. Stop listening to so many other voices and start listening to your own voice. You can get the timing down. Like 2 Chainz said, grinding plus timing equals success. You got to develop feel, pay attention. And number 4, vision. The difference between vision and delusion is how the story ends up. All right, you don't know if you're a visionary at the beginning. You don't know if you're delusional at the beginning. You only know when the game is over. And the game only ends when you stop playing. If you quit, okay, now you're delusional. Now, if you stop and you achieved all this success, okay, now you can call yourself a visionary. But it depends on how the game ends. Vision is seeing something in your mind's eye in full detail, full clarity, even before there is any tangible proof that anything you're talking about is ever going to take place. That's what vision means. And vision is hard. Vision is not easy. If you think vision is easy, it's probably because you're envisioning something that already exists. If it exists in any way, shape, or form, it's not vision. All right, that's sight. If you can see it, it's sight. If I say I'm going to write books, that's not vision because I already got one. Now, if I say I'm going to do something that I ain't did, if I say I'm going to build a spaceship, that's vision. But I can't say it's vision if it's something that I've already achieved. If you already have proof that it's going to work, that's not vision. Okay? Now, if anybody got a question, go ahead and post it in the comments. I'm going to take it. And while I wait for y'all to post y'all questions, I know there's a little bit of lag time. I'm going to tell you about these 2 books. These 2 books right here, that's different from this book. This is my book, Work On Your Game. That's Work On Your Game. It's a different book. These 2 books right here are free. Okay? I will ship these to you worldwide. It doesn't matter where you live. If you have a physical address, you tell me where to ship these. I'm going to tell you where to go. You take care of the shipping. I've already paid for the book. Everybody got that. This book right here is called The Mirror of Motivation, the self-guide, the self-discipline. You want to read this book so that you can be who you need to be as a person, so you can do what you need to do and have the life that you want to have. I think if you know anything about my story, that I'm qualified to write you a book called The Mirror of Motivation. This book is not about me motivating you. It's about me showing you how to look in the mirror so that you can get that spark within yourself. Because I'm not going to be there to hold your hand all your life, and you don't need your hand held. What you need to do is figure out who you are from the inside out and start living it. That's what this book does. Go to mirrorofmotivation.com, mirrorofmotivation.com, and that's where you can order your copy of this book. I will ship it to you worldwide, anywhere that you live. You got an address, you can get this book. This book right here is made specifically for the ball players. If you want to play professional basketball overseas, all right, it doesn't matter if you played at no school, a small school, JUCO, you got injured, you could be 30 years old, you was in the military, you want to give it one last shot, male or female. If you want to travel the world and play professional basketball, get paid for it, and do what 99% of people never do, which is travel the world, get paid, and play a game for a living. Are you kidding me? Get this book right here. It is called The Overseas Basketball Blueprint. You can get this at balloverseas.com. Balloverseas.com. If you have a physical address, the book is already paid for. You take care of the shipping. I will ship this book to you worldwide. I just ordered like 20 copies of this book last week. I usually don't even ship them myself, but I started shipping them myself because with this COVID thing, shipping has gotten way backed up and it's taking like 3 weeks for people to get their books. I don't like that. So I went and ordered like 20 of these last week. I just today ordered 25 more copies of this book. That's a true story. I just ordered 25 more copies of this book to come to my house so that I can ship them to you myself because they'll get there faster if I do it myself. Balloverseas.com. You can get your copy of this book. It will get in the mail. Of course, we'll let you know when it ships and all that. MirrorMotivation.com, balloverseas.com. These books are both free. Now, let's see what we got going on in the comment section. Akun asks, what time do I go live? Everybody who doesn't know, I go live every day at 6:15 p.m. Eastern. So the same time is right now 7:05. So I've been live for about 50 minutes. So I better hurry up because Instagram will cut you off after 60 minutes. So I go live every day at 6:15 p.m. until further notice. Everybody heard that? At least as long as we got this whole quarantine, shutdown, shelter in place thing going on, I'm going live every day at 6:15 p.m. Eastern. Everybody got that on Instagram and on Facebook. 6:15 p.m. at the same time, both places. So if you follow me on either one, you'll get it. Nick from North Carolina was good. I think I shouted y'all out at the beginning. Let me see if we got anything. Anybody got a question or comment, go ahead and post it. I'm taking all questions right now. I got 10 minutes to answer these questions because Instagram will cut off your live after 60 minutes. I don't know why they do that, but they do it. Facebook, you can go as long as you want. I think Facebook, you can do 8 hours. One day I might do an 8-hour live. Momar ND was good. Ed Gonza 96, what up? Are you eating cake right now? Shout out to everybody who enjoys cake. I haven't eaten any cake in a long time. Rohan Mond was good. Said, I used to watch your YouTube videos so much. I appreciate you. I'm glad to see people who watch the YouTube come back around sometimes and see. I know I ain't posting basketball videos no more, but I'm still in the game. A different game, but I'm still in the game. I am the game, matter of fact. That's why I wrote a book called Work On Your Game. ASAP J Dub says, work on your game will change your life. Shout out to everybody who read Work On Your Game, the book. I didn't even tell you about this book, but this is I took my whole philosophy and put it into one book. That's this one right here. It's called Work On Your Game. You can get this at workonyourgamebook.com. This one ain't free. All right, this is $25 for the book. It's a hardcover book. This is a really, really good book. We edited this. I spent a whole year editing this book to get it down to 250 pages. I took my whole, basically, not my life. This is not my life story. This is a business book, but I took the story that I went through and the principles that I learned and put it into 250 pages. It's hard to put a lot of things. It's hard to put so much of your own life into 250 pages. That's hard. But it's not a life. Again, it's not a memoir. I want people to be clear. It's not my life story. This book is not that. But I will write that book one day. But I want to achieve some more achievements before I write my life story. It's too early. Let's see who else we got in here. N. Simon said, my old basketball coach used to say, luck is when preparation meets opportunity. That's right. That's what it is. So you got to be prepared because opportunity happens every day. Seifeld Dean Salah. I know I'm mashing up your name. My bad. But go ahead. Post your question. If you got a question, just ask it. You don't have to say I have a question. Just say it. Just post a question, and when I scroll through, I'll get it. Bradley Anderson, what's going on? All right, somebody got a question, go ahead and post it while I'm here. Because, again, we got like 8 minutes now, because Instagram is going to kick me off when I get to the 60-minute mark. I got 8 minutes. I'm at 52 minutes. Zaire says, do you think starting up a YouTube channel can help promote your basketball brand to go pro? Well, you mean your career? You trying to play basketball for a living, or you trying to be a YouTuber? I don't understand what you mean by, you said your basketball brand to go pro. So it's kind of like you asking me two different questions. You don't need a brand to be a professional basketball player. If you mean being a pro player, like what I talk about in this book, like where you're on a team and you have a contract and y'all got a coach and y'all go to practice every day, you don't have to be famous to get a contract playing pro basketball. To get a contract playing pro ball, you need a pro team to invest in you. Now, you might be both, but you don't need to be both. All right, most of the players that I played with and against when I was playing ball are not known on the internet. All right, they ain't got no kind of brand, or they haven't written books, and you can't, if you Google them, you wouldn't know who they were if you seen them in the street. So having a brand and being a pro player are two different things. I know these days it seems like everybody is both, but that's actually not true. That's just the ones you know about are both. But if you're talking about being a YouTuber, again, you got to answer my question, because I can't even answer your question until I know what you mean with what you're saying. Brandon Joseph says, do you think destiny and luck go hand in hand? I never really thought about destiny on that level, so I can't really answer that. But it depends on how you define the word destiny, because people have different definitions for these words. That's why any of y'all who listen to my masterclass every day, my audio masterclass, some of y'all call that a podcast, but mine is an audio masterclass. I always give y'all definitions of the word. When I talk about a certain word, I say, look, this is the definition that we're going to use today, just so everyone's on the same page, because people have different ways of languaging words. Like I say luck means this, somebody else says no, luck means that. Or I say talent is this, they say no, talent is that. So I always give you a definition so that you know where I'm coming from. So as far as destiny, I can't answer that because, again, people have different ways they look at these words. Augusta J says, any tips for dealing with depression? Man, that's not my area of expertise. I would suggest you see a trained expert in the area. But a couple things I think James Altucher talks about, he calls it daily practice. So every day, challenge your brain, your spirit, your heart, and your mind, and your body. So exercise, that means go outside, take a walk twice a day. Get 10,000 steps, I think is the number. Drink a whole lot of water so you can clear out your body and your systems and make your skin feel better, your brain will operate better. Write down 10 ideas a day so that you challenge your brain to think. You're giving your brain some exercise. And think of some things that you're grateful for. Think of like 5 things you're grateful for every day. So that's my version of his daily practice that I got from James Altucher. So if you do those every day, Augusta J, I think that'll help with your depression. Akun says, what's the best site to buy ball gear? What kind of gear are you talking about? If you're talking about training programs, I got hoophandbook.com. I don't make, if you mean gear like shorts and sneakers, I don't sell those kind of stuff. So I'm not endorsing nobody else's brand on my life. So I can't answer that question if that's what you're asking. But I will endorse my stuff. C. Laura says, why don't you want to charge for your book? Who told you I don't? All these books have been on sale all these books was on sale. This book has always been on sale. All right, this is on sale right now. These books are on sale. You can buy either one of these on Amazon if you want. If you don't want to get it free from me, these are on Amazon, and you can pay full price if you want, or you can get it free from me. I'm giving these books out free to y'all because I want to get these books in your hands so you know what I'm about and what I'm doing. I got to separate myself from all the other, gurus and influencers out there. That's why I'm going to put my book in your hands so you know what's going on. You know this is for real. Anybody could talk crazy on an Instagram caption for 10 minutes, but I'm telling you, you get one of these books, you know what it is. Fredo says, waiting on all my books. That's what's up. They on the way. Fredo, you should have got a shipping confirmation from us. So if you didn't get a shipping confirmation from us, just hit me or send an email to team@workonmygame.com. You should have got that. Lauren Tickner, what's good? Zaire says career and YouTube. So you talking about play ball career or a YouTube career? Again, that's what I'm asking you. You gave me this answer, and you're still kind of saying two things. So tell me which one you mean. Do you mean playing professional basketball, like on a team with a coach, or do you mean being a YouTuber? Which one? Those are two different things. So tell me which one you're talking about to help get noticed. Yeah, I still need more clarification there, Zaire. Now, see, one of the reasons why you might be having a challenge right now because you're not even quite clear on what you're trying to do. You can't make it clear to me, so you might not have made it clear to yourself yet. So that may be one of your challenges. I'm just guessing just by looking at the way you're asking these questions. I Am Manor says, why did I use the 5'5" Asian player example? Because how many 5'5" Asian players you see playing in the NBA? That's why I used him as an example. How many 6'4" black guys you see in the NBA? All right, that's why I use that as an example, because many of them, they just you don't have the tools. All right, height is a tool that you need to be successful in basketball. It's just a rule of the game. Now, I know your coaches and some motivational quote will tell you something different, but if you're not tall, it's gonna be really hard for you to make it in basketball. If you're under 6 feet, your back is against the wall. That's just the truth of the game. You ain't gotta like it, but it is the truth. Tim says, how do you get in touch with your true instincts after a lot of confusion and misinformation? That's a good question. And I will tell you that I did a masterclass on that exact topic not too long ago. And I keep a list of all my master classes written down. Somebody asked me the other day, how do I remember the numbers? I got over 1,500 of these, so I think I'm pretty smart, but I'm not that smart to remember all of them. How to reconnect with your instincts and gut feelings is masterclass number 1448. You can see it right there. You see that highlighted blue? How to reconnect with your instincts and gut feelings. Number 1448, right there. Oh, it's not highlighted. I touched the screen. 1448. How you reconnect with your instincts and gut feelings. Right there. This is Google Docs. Everybody has this available. Everybody has a phone right here. So that's where it is. Masterclass number 1448. If you go to that link that's down in the pinned comment, Work on Your Game University, that's where you can get access to all my masterclasses. Your first 2 weeks are free. So even if you come in, just listen to that and you cancel, hey, do that. I won't be mad at you. But once you see everything is in there, you probably won't want to cancel. Just my opinion, my perspective on it. So that's how you do that. Augusta J, you're welcome. Zaire says, ball career playing pro. All right, so if you want to play pro, Zaire, I got 2 minutes. So I think I only can take a couple more questions. If you want to play professional basketball, get this book right here, Overseas Basketball Blueprint at balloverseas.com. You don't need to be famous to play pro basketball. All you need to do is get one coach, trainer, etc. to sign you to a contract. That's all you need. You don't need to be a YouTuber to play professional basketball. All right, so I'm about to hit exactly 60 minutes. Instagram's going to cut me off, so I'm wrapping this up, everybody. MirrorMotivation.com, you get this one. BallOverseas.com, you get this one. They're both free. All you got to do is take care of the shipping. Tell me where to send it. I got 157. The countdown is running on Instagram right now. So tomorrow, 6:15 p.m., I'm going live again. I'm going to give you part 2 of this. If you like what you heard today, I'm giving you part 2 tomorrow, 6:15 p.m. every single day. As long as this Corona quarantine shutdown is going on, I'm going live every day. And even when it's over, I might keep going live. So everybody, Alex Jibril, I appreciate that comment. I'm screenshotting it, but I got to cut this off because Instagram about to cut me off. Everybody, I'm going live tomorrow, 6:15. Make sure you are here. Do not miss this. Be on time. And you can watch this replay for 24 hours. I am putting this video up on YouTube, but it ain't going to come up for like 3 weeks because I got a bunch of videos to come up before it. So make sure you come to the live so you don't miss it. Everybody work on your game. Dre all day. We out.